Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and I think by now you might have heard. The Blizzard added a portal room in patch 8.1.5, but at the same time, they're removing a lot of portals from the game. And this got a lot of people in the community very sour. So in this video, I want to explain to you exactly what's going on with portals, the reasons why Blizzard did it, why community members are very much upset about this, and throw in a little bit of what I think about this whole dilemma. First of all, hope most of you guys are aware because I covered this in videos, but they added 2 portal rooms, one for the Alliance in Stormwind where the Mage Tower is, and one for the Horde in this hole in the wall during the entrance of Orgrimmar. These portal rooms are fairly awesome and they do have their own appeal. The Alliance has a more royal, broader room, while the Horde has more of literally a hole in the wall with a bunch of tusks and skulls. It's very obvious that the art team really went out on this one. I feel like the Alliance one definitely has a lot of small details, nooks and crannies, while the Horde is more functional and practical. Now, what includes inside of all these portals is exactly the same portals to mostly same places when it comes to Alliance and Horde. First of all, there's a portal to Ashran now, not the actual BG side, but the Horde and the Alliance hub, the Storm Shield and the War Spear, so you can get to Warlord's General easier. Of course, there's a portal to your main cities in BFA, Borealis as well as Dalaran. There's a portal to Azuna that leads you into Legion, so it's not a portal right to the Legion Dalaran, but rather to Azuna. Not really sure exactly why they decided on that design choice. Moving on, there's a portal to Wrath of the Lich King Dalaran, Crystalsong Forest Dalaran, Old School Dalaran. Then you have a portal to either Silvermoon or Exodar, whether you're Alliance or Horde. You have a portal that takes you straight to Shattrath if you don't want to have access to any of the BC areas. And finally, you have a forest to either Podon Village or Honeydew Village, which is a little bit different for Pandaria because that's not the shrine. Both of those villages are in the Jade Forest. So both Horde and Alliance gets to go to Jade Forest rather than the shrines, which is what most of us are used to. So this was one of the biggest changes to add into the game, to finally put a portal hub in the main cities. And I think people have been asking for this one for quite a while, and it's cool that there's distinctions between the Alliance and Horde one. Personally, I believe that the Alliance do have a slightly better looking, actually no, let's be honest, they have a better looking portal room. I love that it's kind of wide, I love that it's more open, and I love just how decorated it is. I know that Horde has a very minimalistic look, there's a lot of bones, ropes, and skulls and such, and of course there's all the sewn together Horde flags all over the place, and it does definitely have that Horde aesthetic. But I do love the openness and the royalty and luxury that the Alliance brings into its portal room. Now, they added these portal rooms, but they took away some of the other portals, and that is the important part, the fact that they took so many away in this new 8.1.5 update that is going to be hitting Tuesday. So this is something we simply are going to have to realize this is happening, how to get adjusted, which I will talk about some of the different adjustments you can make when you're trying to get to some of your famous and, let's say, favorite places that you are so used to going to. But that'll be saved for later. First of all, these portals are fairly functional, the ones that they added. The one that takes you to Ashran, I like it because so far the only way to go to Ashran has been to ask a mage or to start the quest line to the Warlord's General intro, since all my characters seems to never retain their Garrison Hearthstone, so it's a lot harder for me to go back to WoD, even though there's little reason to go back to. Access to cities like Thunderbluff from Orgrimmar and Ironforge from Stormwind is not possible. You do have an Ironforge portal in Borealis and such, so you do have like a way to circumnavigate if you want to get to Ironforge or Thunderbluff, but you do also have the tram for the Alliance, which is the main way for you to get to Ironforge, as well as you have a Zeppelin that takes you between Orgrimmar and Thunderbluff, so you have old school means of transportation rather than portals. Besides that, you still retain your Cataclysm portals, so portals to Twilight Highlands, portals to Uldum, portals to Vashir, Hyjal, down in the Maelstrom. All those places are still gonna be accessible with this change. And I feel like some of you guys might start want to use some of these portals for a few areas that I'll mention towards the end of the video when we're talking about some of the portals that are lost. The Cleft of Shadow is now completely barren. Those caves under Orgrimmar that have been used for warlocks and rogues and mages are just without portals. But the thing is, you still have a portal trainer there, you still have your mage trainer, just no portals anymore. You still have those NPCs in that area. It's almost like I feel like maybe they should move those NPCs into the portal room, because that would make more sense, because now you have this area that has zero reason to be visited unless you want to run the dungeon under Orgrimmar. So the portals you're losing from here are Warspear and Dalaran, which are moved to the mage room, but you also are losing Legion portal. Now there's no longer a portal to take you to Legion Dalaran. At most you can go to Asuna, which doesn't really make much sense, but that is one of the big ones that you guys are going to be a little bit surprised by, as this portal has been used by so many players even after BFA has been released. This is probably an older update, but maybe some of you guys are not clued in, but the Wrath of the Lich King Dalaran only has one portal that takes you to Orgrimmar. Also, the Wrath of the Lich King Dalaran in Crystalsong Forest, another portal has been lost with this update. If you go to the Violet Citadel and you go up the stairs past Ronin, on the right there's a portal to the second level of the Violet Citadel, which is in this nice area, but on the opposite side is a portal to Caverns of Time. This portal has been removed from the game. If you're looking for an easier way to get to Caverns of Time, you actually need to go to the Cataclysm portals, and the second portal in this video is the portal to Uldum. Uldum is a zone to the west of Caverns of Time. Taking a portal to Uldum, flying east, you'll reach Caverns of Time directly. So for anybody who wants to go to Caverns of Time for maybe old school mods or mounts for raids and such, this is how most of you guys should be using it. Go to Orgrimmar, then take the portal to Uldum. Moving on to Legion Dalaran. This is the new updated Dalaran as of Expansion Legion. The portals in this Dalaran have also changed. Pretty sure that this one is also not that new, but for anyone that wasn't aware, in the Legion Dalaran there used to be a bunch of portals in this area. Now there's just one that takes you back to Orgrimmar. Finally, we also have another portal room in the same Legion Dalaran in the Chamber of the Guardian, which is the center room that you would go to look at some of the relics you might have collected as you play through the expansion with the story stuff. Now, down here in this Chamber of the Guardian, at the very bottom of the stairs, used to be a room with 5 different portals, and they took you to kind of obscure locations. One of them was Karazhan. Then you had the Dalaran crater where original Dalaran used to be at. Then there was a portal to Wyrmrest Temple, and then 2 that I cannot remember, but all of those portals are gone. There is a bit of a caveat in Legion. Let's say you're leveling a character and it's a brand new character, and maybe your quest line for your artifact weapon tells you go down and take the portal to Karazhan, maybe an optional quest, and then use that portal to Karazhan to get closer to whatever location you need to go to receive your artifact weapon. If you are on the quest that has you as an optional objective to use a portal to go somewhere, then that portal will appear for you. I feel like what this is going to do is create a situation where people will find whatever quests they are, let's say in Legion, and take as many of those quests and simply just keep them active just so they can have those portals active, as a lot of people get to use those portals. Maybe somebody will be able to craft a character and level him in such a way where they'll always have certain quests always available just so they can keep some of those portals. So Blizzard taking those portals away is basically just going to cause everybody else to try to use some kind of a weird quest method in order to keep that portal in case they ever want to use it. Finally, we have shrines, and the shrines are a little bit weird because they're confusing. There's no direct portals anymore to shrines. The portals in the portal rooms for Stormwind and Orgrimmar take you to Jade Forest, 2 villages, one for Horde, one for Alliance in the Jade Forest. But for the shrine itself, you have to either fly there yourself or take a flight path. There's no longer a portal to shrine, which was one of the main quest hubs and hubs for players back in the day. Now, in the shrine itself, there's only one portal. It's portal to Orgrimmar. There used to be a portal to Wrath of Lich King Dalaran. There used to be a portal to Shattrath, which have now been moved into the mage room. So now you have one less skip of let's port to Pandaria so I can port to Shattrath, or port to Pandaria so I can port to Wrath Dalaran. Both of those portals are closer, but now there's no direct portal to shrine unless you play a mage. The silver lining to all these changes is the fact that mages haven't had the portals changed. So playing a mage or knowing a friendly mage, maybe looking for one in trade chat or in general chat, maybe from one of the capital city hubs, being able to get access through a portal from a mage might be more common. Back in Cataclysm, it was very common to just go and ask for a mageful portal. We didn't have as many portals as we did, let's say, back in Legion. In Legion, we had a plethora of portals and you can go anywhere you want to, so mages having portals became kind of obsolete because you could go anywhere you wanted to, whether you were a mage or not. And since everybody had as a Hearthstone to Legion Dalaran, everyone could go anywhere they wanted. Now, mages are going to be a little bit more useful, and I mean, mages have always been useful, generally good damage, generally good support class, very powerful in damage, can kite adds, but now asking for a mage for portal is going to be more commonplace. Back in Cataclysm, it was fairly common. You would go to trade chat, ask for a mage, tip them 10 gold, 50 gold, 100, maybe 200 if you were really thankful for the service, and mages still have access to everywhere you want to go. You have your basic capital cities, you have Stonard, which is fairly close to Karazhan, you have Shrine, which is the only class and the only way to get a portal directly to Shrine now when you think about it, since the current Pandaria portal in both of the capital cities, in both of the mage rooms, takes you to a random village for Horde and Alliance in the Jade Forest. Not really sure why they chose that location. A part of this video was to explain to you guys exactly what's going on and how to mitigate for all these changes. So when you are logging on Tuesday, hopefully if you watch this video, you know exactly what is going on. I thought of maybe giving my opinion on this dilemma, but instead I just want to kind of give my thought process. When you're making a game like World of Warcraft, you made a massive game. When you're adding worlds and traveling and going places, it's expansive, it's huge, it's amazing. But when you add conveniences of, let's say, portals, you are shrinking the world. I think it's a lot easier to shrink the world and make everything closer. Make a bunch of shortcuts rather than to unshrink it, to lengthen it out. But most importantly, I want to hear your guys' opinions on this dilemma. What do you think about the portal changes coming into patch 8.15? Do you think this is going to be a deal breaker for a lot of players, or maybe through getting used to this new system, trying out some of the portals in the portal room, and with the access help of a couple friendly mages in a capital city or two, maybe this might not feel quite as massive of a change as some people on the forums say that it might be. Down below in the description, I want to put a link to one of the more popular forum posts that talks about this, and you guys can read all the different responses. I also want to put a post to what Blizzard has stated as to why they want to make these changes to portals room. So if you guys want to read in full detail, you can. And most importantly, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what do you think this is going to do for the game. Do you like this change to portals? Do you not like the change to portals? Do you think they should have just added the portal room without removing any portals? Or do you think the Blizzard has some sort of a good idea maybe in regards to there's too many portals and maybe it's time to make the world a bit more expansive and bigger rather than keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking as you add more expansions? You guys let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful and useful for the patch 8.1.5 coming in Tuesday. Lots of updates, but this one is going to be the big one and controversial one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed. I'll see all of you guys in the next one.